Alright, you're back with me. We are doing GCF and LCM today. To me, this is I don't know if fun's the right word, because I'm sure several of you don't think math is fun, but this is one of the more exciting things to do in class to me. It's called the upside down birthday cake, if that makes you a little more excited. But GCF stands for greatest common factor, and LCM stands for least common multiple. Alright, so we've talked about factors before. We know that factors are two numbers that you multiply together to get another number. A multiple is that other number. So like 3 times 4 are the factors, 12 is the multiple, 24 is a multiple, 36 is a multiple, you keep going. Those are all multiples. So multiples are like the ants. Factors are the number you multiply to get the ants, if that makes sense. So what we're doing today is we're going to be looking at two numbers, and we're going to be figuring out what's the biggest factor that both the numbers share. But then we're going to be looking at what's the smallest multiple that both those numbers. So for example, I'll show you a quick way that we don't do it, just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So like if we're looking at 20 and 60. Okay, well think about the numbers that give you 20. What gives me 20? I've got 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. I think that's all. Okay? Think about what gives you 60. 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 5 times 12. Okay? So looking at those, what is the biggest number on both sides? Okay, well obviously they share 1. Do they share 20? Yes, they share 20. They share 2. They don't share 10. They don't share 4. They share 5. So out of the ones they share, what is the biggest one that they share? Well, they both share 20. So my GCF would equal 20. Okay, now look at LCM. Alright, well LCM, think about your multiples of 20. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Think about your multiples for 60. 60, 120, 180, 240. So in other words, if you were to list those out, which I should have listed them as I said it, what's the first number that you come across that they both share on both lists? And the first one they share would be 60. Now this probably actually wasn't the example. It doesn't always work out that the two answers are the two numbers you start off with. But I just kind of wanted to show you what we actually are doing. Called the upside birthday. We'll see why it is called that in just a second. So if we start with the numbers 4 and 32. So they're going to give me those numbers. They're going to say, what's the GCF of 4 and 32? So then what you do is you kind of draw like an upside down division house, like when you're doing long division. Alright, and that's going to be a layer of your cake. So now you ask yourself, what is a number that goes into 4 and it also goes into 32? 2 works, 4 works. A lot of people jump to the conclusion and say 8, but 8 doesn't go into 4, so you can't do 8. I will tell you that the bigger the number you start with, the less work you have to do. But I feel like most people might start off with 2. So if we put 2, 2 goes on the outside. So then you ask yourself, okay, well what is 4 divided by 2? That would be 2. What's 32 divided by 2? That would be 16. Okay? Then you draw your next layer. Okay? You ask yourself, what's the number that goes into 2 and it also goes into 16? Well, the only thing that's going to work besides 1 is 2. Okay? So now you say 2 divided by 2 is 1. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now anytime you get down here and you get a 1, you know that you're finished. So what's the only number that goes into 1 and it also goes into 8? Well, that has to be 1. And like I said, when you get a 1 out, you're done. You can't do anything else, so your cake is finished. So here's what you do for GCF. So to find the GCF of 4 and 32, all you have to do is multiply these numbers on the side right here. 2 times 4, 4 times 1 is 4. So my GCF is 4. Okay? LCM, you use the exact same birthday cake. Except now, I wish I had another color. So you multiply the side and the bottom. Okay? So it literally kind of forms an L, like LCM. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. And then 4 times 8 is 32. Once again, it doesn't always work out that the numbers you start with are the numbers that are actually your answer. But these would be your answer right here. Now, the biggest mistake people make with birthday cake is when they know that this over here is the GCF, and they circle it like they're supposed to, but then they add. So they would say 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. They would say the GCF is 5. But you never add them. You're always going to multiply. Whether you're doing the GCF or you're doing the GCF and the LCM, you're always multiplying those numbers. Let's look at another one. Let's do 30 and 75. Okay? So remember, the first thing you ask yourself is, what is a number that goes into 30 and a number that goes into 75? It has to go into both of them. Okay? First thing I think of is 5. Okay? So now you say 30 divided by 5 is going to give me 6. All right, 75 divided by 5 gives me 15. Okay. What's the number that goes into 6 and 15? A lot of people say 2. 2 doesn't go into 15, so it can't be 2. But 3 does work. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 divided by 3 is 5. Okay? What's the number that goes into 2 and a number that goes into 5? Well, the only thing that works is the number 1. I know that when I get a 1 on the outside that I'm finished and I cannot do anything else. So now, to find the GCF, I'm going to do 5, I'll write it this time, times 3 times 1, which would give me 15. And then to find the LCM, I'm still going to multiply that side, but now I've also got the bottom as well. So it's here and here. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. 30 times 5 is 150. Okay? So you really got to be good with your multiplication facts here, because I promise you somebody will make a careless mistake, and it completely messes up their upside down birthday cake. All right, let's try some more. Let's do, oh, this is 3, sorry. Number 3, let's do 36 and 45. All right, we'll think of a number that goes in 36 that also goes to 5. Not many options here. The only thing that's going to work is the number 9. Okay, then 36 divided by 9 is going to leave me with 4, and then 45 divided by 9 is going to leave me with 5. Okay. Well, what's a number that goes into 4 and a number that goes into 5? My only option is 1. And when I get that 1 on the outside, I know that I can't go any further and that I have to be done. So my GCF is going to be 9 times 1, which is just 9. And then my LCM would be 9 times 1 times 4 times 5. If I multiply those out, I'm going to get 180. All right. All right, one more. Let's do 84 and 96. Not numbers that are very common to us. Okay. Well, sometimes you just kind of have to start wherever you know. And I don't know much about 84 and 96, but I do know that both of them are even. So I know that 2 has to go into both. So I'm going to start out here. All right. So 84 divided by 2 is going to leave me with 42. And then 96 divided by 2 will leave me with 48. Draw my layer. So now I'm done with this top layer. So I don't really need those anymore. I'm just looking at this right here now. So what goes into 42 and 48? Once again, the bigger the number you pick, the less work to do. So I could really put a sticker here to make life quick and easy. But I'm gonna go with a lot of people. And I think a lot of people would put a 2. All right. 42 divided by 2 is gonna leave me with 21. 48 divided by 2 leave me with 24. What goes in 1 and it also goes in 24. That would be 20 divided by 3 is 7. 20 divided by 3 is 8. Only thing that's going to go in 7 and 8 is 1. So I know I'm going to get that one on the outside. So my GCF is right here. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And then I've got my M. Which is going to be being, remember we got 12 here. So 12 times this down here is end up giving me 672. Kind of big. But to get 72, I would just need to apply both because this gave over here, and then 56. So 12 times 56 ends up giving me 172. Just real quick, that you could have started or could have gone the other way. I'm just reading steps real quick. So if I'd put 6 right here, 40 divided by 6 is 7. 48 divided by 6 is 8. To make steps a little bit shorter, end up with the same thing. Still end up with 7 and 8 on the bottom. Took out this middle step right. All right, so that's GCF LCM. Shouldn't be too difficult, but don't worry, we're going to keep practicing with this. We're going to keep using this. If you have any questions, just let me know.